Welcome back. Bribes, falsified records, and taxpayers charged to help dead people find housing. Those are just some of the fraud allegations we've learned the Minnesota Department of Human Services knew about for more than a year, as tens of millions in tax dollars flowed out the door. Here's investigative reporter AJ Legault with the latest findings in Housing Hustle, a Recovery Inc. investigation.
Fancy cars, fly-by-night companies.
You're billing thousands of dollars for work that's not being done.
Fake meetings.
They just billed us for nothing.
Forged names.
I did not sign this legal document.
Homeless veterans.
I never met any of these people.
Dead people billed. Phantom services.
For that $14,000, you got what?
Nothing.
Vulnerable Minnesotans' real needs exploited.
And you're sitting there in the cold thinking, okay, any day now. And that any day never comes.
We've now discovered that all these allegations exposed in our investigation were not new news to the state agency that was supposed to be the watchdog. The Department of Human Services, DHS, had been, for more than a year, warned repeatedly.
It's stunning.
GOP State Rep Kristen Robbins chairs the House Fraud Committee and reviewed what KARE 11 uncovered. Hundreds of pages of documents that tell a to-date untold story about ignored fraud warnings in a program that by 2024 skyrocketed in cost to more than $100 million.
Oh my gosh.
The records coming to light through a KARE 11 data request to Hennepin County, which operates its own managed care organization. Think insurance company for clients on Medicaid. It's called Hennepin Health, and they were sounding the alarm. March 15th, 2024. Hennepin emailed DHS spelling out patterns of behavior and billing that raised our eyebrows. A DHS employee responds, "I have forwarded this information to our fraud department to investigate." The next month, DHS is warned in writing that an HSS provider is offering bribes to people outside the Salvation Army, $50 to get forms filled out.
Wow. So they had credible allegations of fraud and bribery.
So, what happened? On May 6th, Hennepin emailed DHS's Office of Inspector General asking if county complaints about kickbacks being offered are making their way to their team. An OIG manager responded, "A quick search of our case tracker fails to reveal any related referrals, and we're flying blind so far."
We're flying blind. So, stunning. Goes in a black hole and no one even knows that these referrals are being made.
2 months later, Hennepin Health sent DHS an official fraud referral for the state's largest HSS biller, a company called Start Today Hennepin. County investigators substantiated fabricated records and billing for service that occurred after 3 recipients had passed away.
And instead of stopping payment and doing the investigation, nothing happens.
By November, Hennepin Health asked DHS for a direct meeting to discuss all the billing fraud they'd uncovered at numerous HSS providers.
Patterns of overbilling, poor notes, no notes, and fraud.
DHS agrees to a meeting for December 12th. A manager writing, "We all want to avoid housing stabilization becoming the next poster child for government program fraud, waste, and abuse."
Well, clearly that didn't happen.
At that December meeting, Hennepin's PowerPoint presentation for DHS detailed bribes, money, meals, and bus cards, and members not receiving any HSS services, even though services are being billed. The county was fed up. They began banning multiple HSS providers from billing their clients, including Start Today, whom they cited for multiple examples of fraud and demanded repayment of $141,000. But DHS took no action and allowed other insurance providers to continue being billed.
Hennepin Health stopped the payments to that provider, and DHS continued to provide payments. It's unconscionable.
Despite all they knew, DHS actively downplayed to lawmakers the extent of fraud on the agency's watch.
because there's a lot of rumors of fraud more than there is actual fraud.
In a January Senate hearing, 10 months after Hennepin sent its first warning, then DHS Commissioner Jody Harpstead said she believed there was no massive widespread fraud in DHS programs because her Inspector General team was on top of it.
People know it, and they didn't dare try to do that in our licensed or unlicensed services.
Harpstead left her job a few weeks later, replaced by temporary Commissioner Shireen Gandhi, who previously served as Deputy Commissioner and Chief Compliance Officer.
I think the team did not understand, we did not understand the sophistication of fraud that was happening here at DHS in this program.
It wasn't until May 1st, the day KARE 11 published an investigation exposing alleged HSS fraud, that DHS began taking urgent action.
Did the department act urgently enough when it first started learning that there might be widespread fraud in this program?
That's a good question, and I think in hindsight, no. If we knew then what we know now, we would have been acting a lot faster.
2 months later, the feds started raiding the HSS businesses KARE 11 had spotlighted, citing a massive scheme to defraud. And finally, on August 1st, DHS's acting commissioner announced plans to terminate the program due to a lack of ability to stop fraud.
Who here at DHS is being held accountable for allowing this fraud to get so far out of control?
I think all of us have to be accountable. It's going to take all of us to put the state in a better position to fight these criminals.
To date, 115 individual HSS businesses have been banned from billing Medicaid due to what the state labels credible allegations of fraud. Now, to be transparent with viewers, Representative Robbins' interview was conducted before the recent announcement that she was running for governor. For KARE 11 Investigates, I'm AJ Legault.
Stick with us. More news and weather is coming up after the break.